What's up, Pack Nation? It's Pack Gaming here, and this is the first roster update of NBA 2K18. You know how I love to talk about roster updates. But before we get this video started, I'm doing a surprise giveaway. Right now, the winner will get 75,000 VC for free. All they have to do is do 3 simple things if you want to win the 75,000 VC by today. I'm giving 24 hours for all of you to do this, okay? You have to do 3 things. You have to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter. You can find my account in the description or on my channel. And then finally, tweet at me, Done Patrick. If you do that, I'll know you've done it. I'll make sure you've done it. And then I'll pick one random person to win that 75,000 VC in 24 hours. So get on that if you want that, guys. Now, the roster update. Oh man, it's time. There's obviously going to be a lot of big moves because this is the first roster update we've now known who got better than last season. So there was a lot of changes, and as I do every roster update, I don't talk about every single change because that would take way too long. So I only talk about the really important changes. The first one is Ben Simmons. He went from a 79 up to an 81. So he got a definite upgrade, and he's been balling out. However, not only is Markelle Fultz injured, but he's also downgraded from an 80 to a 77. So right now he's a 70 overall because they removed 70 because he's injured. But yeah. Next is right now MVP favorite Giannis Antetokounmpo from a 91 to a 94. So a +3 upgrade. Awesome for him. He's an awesome player. And his overall might even be going even higher. Malcolm Brogdon also is going up. He went from a 78 overall now to an 80 overall. So +2. And then Greg Monroe went from an 80 overall to a 78 overall. So they basically flip places. Man, they need to leave the Bulls alone. But the only reason I'm talking about this is because they gave 2 people upgrades. And that was Robin Lopez from a 76 to a 78. Lauri Markkanen with a 75 to a 77. So 2 upgrades for these players. And these probably are the best players in the team. Only one person to talk about on the Cavs, and that is Dwyane Wade from an 82 to an 80. If you watched my video talking about who needed the biggest downgrades, I had him at number 3 on the list. Sadly, he's just not doing as good as he usually is, but who knows, he'll probably turn it around. There was a couple upgrades here and there, but on the Celtics, Jason Tatum from a 77 up to a 79, so a big upgrade for him. However, they only upgraded Jaylen Brown by 1. He was a 76, now a 77. I don't understand why they barely upgraded him. He's been doing really well, but whatever. Now is another great player right now in the NBA, Blake Griffin, who's been balling out. Everyone thought he wouldn't be doing as good without Chris Paul, but look at him now. 87 now to an 89. Awesome for him. And then another person I put on my list of people that needed a downgrade is Austin Rivers. From an 80 overall now to a 78 overall. Marc Gasol from an 89 overall to a 90. This is expected considering the Grizzlies are doing awesome right now, at least for the moment. And then another player that got a pretty decent upgrade and surprising is Chandler Parsons. No one really thought he was going to be as good as he is right now. He used to be really pretty decent, and then he started to fall off, but now he's doing pretty good again. So from a 74 now to a 76. Next is Dennis Schroeder, only got 1 upgrade. I thought he could have got a little bit more, but it's fine. So a 79 overall to an 80 overall. And then John Collins got a really big upgrade. He got a 73 overall and then a +4 77 overall, making him one of the biggest upgrades in this roster update. And then Marco Bellinelli went from a 74 to a 77 overall, so that's 3 upgrades. So these 2 guys got really big upgrades. And then my boy Dwyane Wade balls out, and then they give him a -1. He was an 80 overall, now a 79 overall. Disrespectful. Also, Tyler Johnson got a -2 from 77 overall to a 75 overall. Now Kemba Walker from an 86 to an 87. Kemba's been doing awesome right now. This could even go even higher. And then Jeremy Lamb, a surprise for most people, from a 75 overall up to a 78 overall. So he's been doing really solid too. That's good for him. Next is Rudy Gobert. He got a -2. I thought he's still been playing as he usually plays, so I don't know why he got a downgrade. But from an 88 overall down to an 86 overall. He's still really good, obviously, but I'm surprised at how much they removed from him. Next is George Hill. Man, he got a big downgrade, one of the biggest downgrades in this roster update, from an 82 overall down to a 79 overall, -3. He just left the 80 group. Kind of weird. He's maybe just having a weird start to the season, but also Zach Randolph got -2, so also left the 80 overall club from an 80 overall to a 78 overall. Okay, now it's the Knicks. Porzingis from an 86 to an 88. This guy is right behind Giannis in the MVP conversation, maybe. He's been going out of his mind. But Tim Hardaway Jr. went from an 80 overall to a 78 overall, and he deserves that. He's been playing not very good. He was also on my list of people that needed downgrades immediately. Brook Lopez did the opposite of his twin brother. Now was an 84 overall, now he went down to an 82 overall. So instead of gaining 2, he lost 2. Lonzo Ball was not touched. That's a surprise to some people, but I think he's still okay. He's almost averaging a triple-double. He's fine. And then Kyle Kuzma went up from a 72 to a 76, so +4. He's doing really solid right now. Now for the Magic, who've been doing really good for the first couple games of the season. It might be a fluke, it might not be, who knows, but Vucevic went from an 80 overall up to an 83. He's been leading this team to a lot of wins, and it's really surprising. Evan Fournier also got a big upgrade from a 78 to an 82. That's a pretty solid upgrade, 4+. And Aaron Gordon who got a 78 overall up to an 80 overall. So good for everyone all around. This is the big three of this team right now, and they've just been balling out. And also Jonathan Simmons got an upgrade. I'm not sure what it was. It was maybe like a 74 to a 77, but he's also got a pretty big upgrade. Harrison Barnes lost one, -1. He went from an 81 overall now to an 80 overall. It's too early to tell, honestly, but yeah, he wasn't doing as good as he was doing last season, to be fair. And then the disrespect right here, Dirk Nowitzki from an 88 overall down to a 77 overall. Why would they do that to Dirk? It's just rude. Now it's D'Angelo Russell, only got a +1. He was doing better than I thought, but it goes from an 80 overall up to an 81 overall. So there's that. And then Rondé Hollis-Jefferson went from a 75 overall up to a 78 overall because he's been playing pretty solid. Also, Spencer Dinwiddie from a 73 overall up to a 76. So there were little upgrades here and there for this team. They're just trying to solidify who's the good players, who's going to be the starters on this team. Wilson Chandler got a -2 grade from a 78 overall down to a 76 overall. Jamal Murray went down from a 77 to a 75, even though I thought he was doing pretty solid from what I remember. I watched like the past 2 games and he got like 22 points or something like that. So that's kind of weird that they gave him a downgrade, but whatever. And now the biggest gainer in this roster update, Victor Oladipo, man, he's just a monster right now from a 79 overall up to an 84 overall. He has been absolutely balling out of his mind. And his teammate Domantas Sabonis has been doing pretty good too, from a 73 overall up to a 76. DeMarcus Cousins has almost averaging 30 points a game, I think, or is averaging 30 points a game, from a 92 overall up to a 93. So a little better than how good he is. And then this Pistons team who was doing really, really good, but then just lost to the Lakers yesterday. But still, they're still solid. Tobias Harris got the biggest upgrade on the team from a 78 overall up to an 82. And then also Reggie Jackson from a 77 up to an 80 overall. Now this one's weird because, I don't know, Kyle Lowry every 2K goes up and down in rating. Like he starts going down and then he comes up again playoff time. He's bound at 84, he was an 87, now he's an 84. I guess, I mean, that's what they think they need to do, but still. James Harden goes from a 93 overall up to a 94, just because, basically. But the big one is Eric Gordon from an 80 overall up to an 82. Eric Gordon's been balling out. And then Clint Capella goes from a 79 to an 82. Big upgrade for him because he's been doing really solid too. LaMarcus Aldridge goes from an 85 to an 86, being clearly the best player on this team right now since Kawhi is injured. Devin Booker goes from an 85 also to an 86 because he's been just playing great. Who knows what's going to happen to Eric Bledsoe? They still haven't announced anything. Paul George and Carmelo Anthony both go down 1. So Carmelo was an 86, now an 85, and then Paul George 91 to 90. But they're still good. They're just fitting into a new system. They're not the only players on their team anymore. They got Westbrook there. Jimmy Butler loses one. He leaves the 90 overall club and now is an 89 overall, which will probably change throughout the season. We'll see. CJ McCollum is taking ankles. He is a baller. 86 overall up to an 87, and it might even keep growing because he's been doing really solid. Draymond Green grows from an 88 down to an 87, and it does not matter because Draymond Green is still Draymond Green. He's still going to find a way to do good. So, and then the last one is someone who's doing really solid right now, Otto Porter, from an 80 overall up to an 83. He's been shooting lights out. He's a great player, honestly. And that's it. That's the first roster update of NBA 2K18. Do you think somebody needed to get a roster upgrade or downgrade? Leave it in the comments below. If you like my channel, please give my channel a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.